What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OG GM, coming to you live and caffeinated here on a Monday morning from Site B on a small island off the coast of Costa Rica, because why not keep pushing the meta? It's April 24th, 2023. It's about 9:30 in the morning, and it is cold and foggy outside. Steve the cat is looking at me like, dude, shut up and come cuddle. And it's time to take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game news, specifically the fate of two individuals / games / organizations that we knew were going through a hard time. And sometimes, folks, sometimes it's nice to just take a moment, take a breath, and appreciate when the collective tabletop role-playing game community takes their heads out of their pillows and does something nice, unites against a cause. We saw that in January at the beginning of the OGL struggle. We've seen it before, but it rarely happens that we all unite and do something nice. Well, here we have two stories about the tabletop role-playing game community reaching out and doing nice things for people who were in trouble within our community. The first, of course, is the plight of Owen Stephens and how the tabletop role-playing game community has gathered together to help him. If you're not familiar with Owen K. Stephens, he is a guy who has written a lot of stuff. He wrote stuff for Star Wars Saga, Starfinder. He's worked at Paizo. He's worked for Green Ronin. He's worked for Rite Publishing. He owns his own company called Rogue Genius Games. This guy's been around for a while. He has definitely influenced the Paizo and, of course, one of my favorite campaign settings, Freeport. So right there, Owen recently suffered some major health issues. I believe he suffered an embolism, and a pulmonary embolism brought him into the hospital. And he was also then diagnosed with stage 2 castle. He's raked up $7,000 in health bills so far because America, health bills, yeah. Inquiring crippling debt and going forward, and several charities have gathered together to reach out to him and say, dude, we're here for you. So we have medical bundle number 1, which you can get over at DriveThru. This is 100 PDFs for 5th Age, 13th Age, Dust of the Outlaws, Eclipse Phase, Mutants and Masterminds, Pathfinder 1st Edition, Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Savage World, Starfinder, etc., etc., etc. It's $35 to get the entire thing, and 100% of the funds goes to his medical bills. We have a second one. This one has product from the Awful Cheerful Indrin, Eclipse Phase, Icons, Mutants and Mass Spiders, both per Pathfinder 1st and 2nd, Shadow of the Demon Lord, Shotgun Sorcery, Spectaculars, which is a superhero role-playing game if you're not familiar with it, and Starfinder. This one is $35 and features another 100 or so PDFs from various companies who want to support Owen's medical bills. You notice who's not mentioned anywhere on there, of course, is Wizards of the Coast, because Wizards of the Coast couldn't be bothered to help out a fellow game designer who's going through hard times. If you don't feel like you need a huge bundle of stuff, there's other ways to support him. Owen has a Patreon. You can directly contribute to him through his website, or you can reach out to the various people who have made stuff with him and see, hey, I would like to collaborate for another charity bundle by contacting Hal Greenberg, the guy who is sort of behind this. So yeah, isn't it nice when the tabletop role-playing game community can take a moment and create hundreds of products to support a guy with crippling medical bills? Yeah. Noticeably missing, of course, is Wizards of the Coast and Critical Role. Because, yeah, I guess you guys couldn't be bothered to help this guy out. Who's beeping me? I'm getting a text. No, it's reminding me that I have a doctor's appointment next week. You should remind me on Friday, not today, because I will forget. But that's not all. We've got another one. Another example of the tabletop role-playing game community reaching out to help somebody who's in trouble. So we have talked about Into the Motherlands before. It was the Afrofuturistic role-playing game being made by CypherCo and Andrews McMeel. They received some bad news, and Andrews McMeel's had to shut down CypherCo and take a step back. And it looked like he was also going through some financial issues, especially since people had contributed to the Kickstarter, and then the Kickstarter shut down, and people were like, dude, I gave you my money and there's no product. So, and because apparently they forgot that's literally how Kickstarter works. If the Kickstarter fails, you don't get your money back. It's gambling, guys. It's basically gambling. Green Ronin has reached out to CypherCo and decided to pick up Into the Motherlands. They are working with many of the members who worked with Andrews in the past, to include Tanya D. Pass and B. Dave Walters. B. Dave Walters might be a name you recognize. He's apparently well known as a celebrity D&D player. So Green Ronin has purchased it. They are the same makers, of course, of Mutants Masterminds and Freeport, one of my favorite campaign settings. It's a brand new system, according to B. Dave Walters. They are working with Green Ronins to take the failed product and bring it alive. So, yeah, and of course, funds will go to also help out Andrew McMeel's and whatever he was going through at the time that forced him to relinquish control and shut down the Patreon and the Kickstarter. So, yay. Again, an example of Green Ronin reaching out, seeing somebody in trouble, seeing a fellow game designer fall hard, and instead of just going, ha ha, they went, hey, here, take my hand. Let me help you up. Let me help you out. Let's see what we can do. So 2 examples of those rare moments when the tabletop role-playing game community reaches out to someone else and says, let me help you. Noticeably missing, of course, from both these is Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro's, who has their own charity, reaching out and saying, hey, let us help you. I don't know what I mean by that, but, you know, it's just another way to drive that dagger in the back of all the few people who still support Wizards of the Coast, which is just, hey, for a company that's supposed to be so pragmatic and open and helpful and inclusive and have billions of dollars, here's 2 separate individuals who could have used a little help from Wizards of the Coast. What a great way to mend some fences, by the way, and chose not to. So if you want to help out Owen K. Stephens, links to those are down below. And that's just news. And that's nice news. It's nice to see the tabletop role-playing game community take a break from destroying each other and saying horrible things about each other and help a guy out. And especially this Owen K. Stephens guy. You know, hundreds of people took time and effort out of their day with no thought of anything in return other than we want to help this guy out. So let's see if we can get Owen's medical bills taken care of. Links down below. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. Now, moving on to the tabletop role-playing game news that I am most excited about. We will discuss that in a separate vlog because, oh boy. Till then, I'm the OGGM. If you appreciate this content, let me know. If you haven't subscribed yet, let me know. Please subscribe. Help me hit 2,000 subs. Normally, I would fit in my shameless self-promotion in this spot, but this case, no, I don't want you to. If you're going to think about supporting the OGGM instead today, maybe give that money to the charities that are supporting Mr. Stephens' hospital bills or the charities that are supporting the Afropunk Into the Motherlands game, because it's nice that we can, you know, take a moment to help out. Stop beeping. I know. Till next time, I'm the OGGM. I need to have a fight with my phone. So see ya. Links down below.